There we go. Alright. Alright, so alright, so first things first, I want to be able to check out the stream, see how the sound and everything. Alright. Stream manager. Share stream. Alright. Alright. Everything seems good. Bots done the notifications and things like that. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my intro. So, as always, everyone, hey yo, my fellow Rumble Maniacs. It's Mr. Rumble Roses here, and welcome back to yet another installment of Dead by Daylight. So, as you can see, I am back on the game because it is a return of 2v8. Now, I'm pretty sure some people are, might be wondering, like, what is 2v8? Well, as you can see, it's 8 survivors that facing 2 killers once again as 2v8 returns to the entity's realm. And in this iteration, we have, and I think like normally it was going to be like like three killers each time, and apparently they only went for 2, and everything. But for this one, they decided to bring in the Oni and Ghostface. Now, I was kind of surprised in a way that they didn't add a third, but it is what it is, honestly. So, yeah, so basically in a nutshell, for, talk about a little bit more. So, yeah, instead of a 1v4 situation, it's 2 killers versus 8 survivors. And the maps, and there are some maps, not every single map that you would see in the game has been has done this, but there are some maps that have been expanded upon to be made bigger to accommodate for, the large, chaoticness of 2v8. And instead of perks, the killers and survivors have what's known as skills. you know, and that like some can also say it's kind of like a class type of thing too. Um, and apparently in this iteration, the fog crystals have returned, which is kind of like, which is more or less kind of like smoke bombs in a sense. You know, it's like you know, like a survivor can throw it down, um, you know, on the ground after finding it in the chest, and then kind of like, you know, block the vision of, you know, the killer, you know, possibly, you know, get him to be lost and get lost in the sauce or whatever. So yeah. Um, and yeah, usually, and yeah, and because of, you know, this is like a, you know, like a thing. Um, what was I say? Yeah, because this is a thing, you know, and all that. There are, um, there are like little quest things. There are quest stuff, um, for, you know, for the thing. You know, it's like, oh, you do, you know, do this, that, and the other, and you get some rewards, which, um, in this case, you will get a ghost face, profile thing. You can get a ghost face banner and a little figurine, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, as you can see, it's its own mode. You know, it kind of separate from the, you know, normal queue. Before I show off the, you know, the color stuff, I'm gonna go to survival first. Just kind of, you know, to show new people.
Oh no.
Alright, so you go load out, and instead of like, you know, normal perk stuff, you get classes, and you know, you get the classes, skill, you know, and you go to, you know, to between 4 different ones at least so far. So I'm gonna try to go over them and, you know, talk about, you know, each little team. So for me, I often always play as the guide. So the guide is pretty much known to be like a person who works on gens a lot. Um, so there's that, and there's a thing where there's a reveal skill, a team skill, and an unlockable skill. So, um, a reveal skill pretty much, you know, kind of like shows certain things depending on what you do. Team skill, I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but it pretty much is a thing that, you know, helps for any, you know, for all your teammates and everything like that. And unlockable skill is after you've been caged once, you get that little skill thing, you know, for whatever thing that you're going for, you know, like, you know, and all that. So for scout, for guide, I don't know why I said scout. So for guide, um, you can be able to reveal the four ores, or the four generators that are closest together, and reveals the aura of unfinished generators within 32 meters. So it's kind of like a deja vu type of thing. Team skill. Survivors within the 8 guides 8-meter terror radius or tech radius gain additional 3% bonus progress for great skill checks successes on repairs. Sound of the generator and their repair actions are also reduced by 50%. While on the generator, reveal the auras of the generator and yourself to other survivors. Gain a repair bonus that charges over 90 seconds. Activate to grant all survivors on the tech radius an extra 8% repair speed bonus for 10 seconds, putting this ability on cooldown. Then, unlockable skill is the guy gains a 5% repair charge for each survivor within 8 meters when completing a generator. Those charges are immediately applied to the next gen that they begin to repair. So there's that. Next is Escapist. Live swiftly and silently, but truly evil and does never rest. So, reveal skill, Reveals auras of pallets and vaults within 60 meters, so it's kind of like a windows of opportunity. Team skill, any survivors that sprint within game is 8 meters sprint radius gain 50% haste for 3 seconds, after which they suffer from an exhausted stats effect for 20 seconds. Does not trigger the exhausted onto the exhausted survivors. Gain a silent rush bonus that charges over 30 seconds. Activate silence all rushed actions within the sprint radius for 8 seconds. So, there's that. And after being caged once, this game gains the ability to heal themselves on a medkit at 70% healing speed. So, kind of like a self-care thing, but I believe much better. Next up is the medic. So, for the medic, we reveal the auras of injured survivors in 128 meters. Team skill within the medic's radius, gaining 50% healing speed bonus, and the volume of their grunts and pain is reduced by 50. Healing survivor reveals the aura to other survivors, gain a heal bonus that charges over 120 seconds. You activate that to heal survivors in the range by 50%, so you can do that. After being caged once, while injured, the medic's scratch marks are suppressed and the aura is revealed to all other survivors. And lastly, is Scoot. So reveal skill is reveal the auras of killers performing break or damaging actions for 6 seconds, which I believe is kind of like, I think like alert value or something like that. What survivors in the sneak radius move 100% faster while crouching. When Scout has line of sight of a killer within 64 meters, the killer's aura is revealed to all survivors. And they also have the ability to restore a pallet that's been broken that charges over 60 seconds. And you see the auras as well. So, if you see an aura of like, drop pallets or destroyed pallets, you can also, like either, like lift them up or repair them. Which it definitely kind of has its uses, but I think like for the most part, people kind of use, I think for the most part, like people kind of use Scout for like, the ability to see, like to reveal the killer's auras, because most of the time it's like, no one really does that, like no one really, like, does pallet stuff that much. So now we're gonna go to killer, and we're gonna use Wraith as an example. So there's an innate skill, team skill, and reveal skill. So for the killers, there's Brute, Enforcer, Fearmonger, and Shadow. So do a little thing. So innate skill pretty much is the killer's ability, to do this, that, and the other. So team skill is for Brute is increase the break action by 25%. Your teammates gain 10% haste for 8 seconds if they are within 32 meters of your break or damage action. Has a 30-second cooldown, during which you lose the increased break action, to break stuff fast. With a reveal skill on Brute, whenever you perform a damage action on a generator, reveals the aura of survivors within certain meters for additional 8 meters. So pretty much like it's a nowhere to hide type of thing. And their range is only extendable to the Brute. Next is Enforcer. So gain 3% haste when chasing against a survivor. Your teammate hits the survivor within 32 meters of you. The survivor receives the Enforcer's mark and the orb revealed to you for 12 seconds. Downing the survivor consumes the mark and increases your teammate's lunge attack distance by 60% for 15 seconds. It has a 30-second cooldown. The reveal skill, when you perform action on a generator, The survivor's awards were revealed for an additional 4 seconds. Fearmonger. Kind of what I think Fearmonger is one of my favorite little classes. So, for Fearmonger team skill, you gain 5% haste while you're unseen. When putting a survivor in the injured state by any means while further than 16 meters from your teammate gains 10% haste for 10 seconds. And again, 30-second cooldown. Whenever generator repair is complete, the auras of survivors who have not been sent to a cage of corruption will reveal to you for an additional 4 seconds. And it applies only to that class. And lastly is Shadow. So within 32 meters of your teammate, gain the undetectable status effect until transferring it. Injuring the survivor by any means transfers the undetectable status to your teammate for 12 seconds. And the reveal skill, whenever a teammate begins to chase with a survivor, the aura is revealed for an additional 4 seconds. So yeah. That's all the the class skills and things like that. But now we're gonna look at Oni and Ghostface's little, abilities and shit like that. Alright, so for the innate skill for Oni, increases movement speed of Demon Dash by 15%, decreases Demon Dash activation time by 10, increases rate of power gauge filled by 15, increases the range of which blood orbs are collected by 12 meters, increases the turning speed of Demon Dash by 20%. And then we got Ghostface. So Ghostface is this thing. Increases the charge rate of Night Shot by 15%. Increases stalking charge rate by 10. Increases movement speed while Night Shot is active by 10. Increases time in which survivors are exposed by 30 seconds. So, there's that. Now, I have actually played quite a lot of Survivor today. It's why, I've got, 4 million blood points at most. And I have done pretty much, for the most part, all of the stuff, for 2v8 so far, which is, breaking, 30, doing 50 generator skill checks, complete 5 trials, stir 20 crows, and I play a scout in 1 trial. And yeah, it's going to take some time, sadly. But yeah, unfortunately it's going to take some time because killer queues are often known to be sadly are often known to be a bit abysmal. But, what is what it is. Apparently, from what I can remember, because they talked about this on the DVD anniversary live stream, even though they were from PAX and they couldn't be able to go for as long as normal. But essentially, they talked about in the next iteration of 2v8, they're apparently going to do a thing where you can queue up. You can pretty much do a thing where it's like you can play Survivor while queued up for a killer game. because that's pretty much like known to be like, because apparently that was like the thing that, you know, they can. I don't know for sure, but it's like that's like the main thing they can more or less do. Oh yeah, speaking of all the 2 bait stuff, so apparently there is a little there's a little store thing going on. There's like a little collection of shit. So yeah, there's a little thing here. You can go to the store. Um, Guardians. Yeah, the collection apparently is called Guardians and Shadows, and there's a thing for Gabriel, Young Jin Lee, Legion, and Ghostface. So yeah. But I'm gonna switch to Ghostface, so that way I don't have to like, hear only, like going into rage mode and all that stuff because it's gonna probably be a hot minute before I can be able to, get into a killer game. Now, so let's see. Cause yeah, it's probably gonna be a bit, and everything before we can get into a game. Cause not really much you can be able to do in terms of like, there's not really much you can do other than just like either. There's not really much you can do other than just like, just not do killer at all until like the next iteration, or just wait it out and do this, that, and the other. But yeah, um, yeah, the idea that I kind of have for the day is, at most, I want to try and like maybe do at least a couple of killer games with Ghostface and um, Oni. And I kind of figured I'd start things off with Oni, you know, because Big Bonk Boy. But yeah. Yeah, so I do apologize if, you know, it may be a little boring and all that, but, you know, there's not really much I can do other than just, like, you know, just do nothing but play Survivor in 2v8. And I do want to go try and get, like, some killer action in, you know, while the event's going. But yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at a post that someone made on Twitter talking about like, oh, only shouldn't be in 2v8. You know, and like, so it's like someone was saying like, oh, only shouldn't be in 2v8 and everything, and yeah, talking about like, oh, like having like owning and legion, this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, eventually they're gonna try and get like a shit ton of other killers, into the mode. So it's like, it's gonna happen either way. But yeah, I did get to experience what it was like, to play the 2v8 a little bit. I guess even though it wasn't on killer, but I did a lot of Survivor today, and and I did see like some new stuff that they did. So one thing that they did was they kind of like changed the HUD a little bit, or they kind of like changed the HUD a little bit on Survivor, at least on Survivor side. Um, how do I put this? So apparently, like right next to, I think like right next to the name of like the survivor's little portrait thing. Um, I believe like they have like two circle things like next to, like two big circle things next to them, along with a little small thing. Now I believe it's kind of like a way to represent effects that have happened to the survivors. Because like I've seen moments where it's like, if you say if you have a Wesker, like a Wesker and Nimi, you can say like one thing will have like the Ouroboros, thing filling up, and another one would be like the blue light shit. I don't know what you call it, but like you have that kind of like showing. And apparently my dog is barking his head off for some reason. I apologize for that. Like he only really does that for the most part. Like if someone went outside, like out the front door. But yeah, I did see that. For the hut, like the survivor hut stuff. Another little thing that I kind of saw was there's a bit like their little hooking animation thing for 2v8. So what happens is that, um, because for those that don't know, and I guess kind of like talk about like how things were for the most part. Um, so when 2v8 first came out, they had the mechanic for killers was that when you down a survivor, you pretty much like stomp them into the ground, and they go into a like cage type of thing. It was sort of similar to what Pyramid Head does whenever he sends a survivor that's been corrupted by his little by his shit. Um, yeah, yeah, there's that. But a lot of people are saying that like, oh, that's not really fun because it doesn't give survivors the ability to like, make any sort of save. It's just like, oh, killer downs, survivor, stomps on them, and they can't be saved. So it's like, once the survivor is down, they're pretty much fucked. Um, but then, it's like next iteration here and there, they did a bit of a thing where it's like a survivor, like the normal pickup thing, but I think they took like a mechanic from I think it's like the Twisted Masquerade at one point where it's like instead of, I think it was like I think it was a Twisted Masquerade thing where it's like a killer can auto hook a survivor without having to carry them to a hook. Oh boy. Yeah, they can both do that and everything. So so yeah. And with this one and for this iteration, apparently they're doing a thing where it's like there's like a dark cloud that comes up that comes up like right above you, and like the entity kind of like kind of I guess like has like some sort of like hook thing, and and the killer puts them on that little hook thing, and they kind of get like sucked into the dark cloud, and then they get sent to a cage. Yeah, I have not played Oni in such a long ass time. I do know that they kind of like did some stuff and things to them to where it's like, oh, you can be able to have better flicking now. So this should be interesting. Let's see what kind of map we get for the first killer iteration. Auto Haven. Een spotboost. God damn. Yeah, that's how, that works. don't even know if I can go get my fucking rage mode on this. God damn it. Excuse me? I have no idea where I'm going. Ow. They say that fucking, only you can do like better flicks and stuff with only. But yeah, it's like, it's so fucking hard to turn. Fuck. God, there's like no fucking way. Yeah, they say fucking Oni can, do perfect flicks and all that, but yet, like, you gotta have better turning and all that, but it's like, nah. Still can't really do it with console. Fuck. Fuck, man. Oh, like I don't believe I like honestly don't believe that like oh you know you can be able to turn you know like have better flicks and stuff with Oni, but yet it's like nah, I don't think you can. Like holy fucking shit, man. I'd have better odds of playing as Wraith versus playing as Oni. Well, like honestly, like I'd honestly say like you know I'd let fucking you know people who play on PC you know like have Oni versus you know me trying to play as sorry ass. Yeah, that match was terrible. Like not because of the gingerish you know scenario, because it's like like it's like oh it's you know it's 2VA you know it's, and all that stuff, but it's like you know like it was just so fucking hard to like get my it was so fucking hard you know to like you know get power and being able to you know get any fucking downs with you know the rage mode. Ugh. Well, time to play the waiting game again.
Task you will find impossible, Captain Cold.
Captain Cold.
Don't pretend you don't dig me.
So in case you guys are wondering, like, why, what was all that about? It was a video that I saw quite recently on YouTube. It was about DVD. So apparently, and I told some of my friends this, even though like they didn't really seem to care that much, but whatever. But so I saw a video on YouTube where someone was doing like an all screaming animation for all the survivors, and apparently, when it comes to the male and female survivors, the male survivors when they scream, they don't actually open their mouths, but when the female survivors scream, they actually do. And I thought it was I thought it was like weird, but also kind of funny in a sense because it's like, oh, it's like because it makes me think it's like, oh, they're screaming, they're internally screaming, but somehow you can still hear them. I will say that um, I don't know 100% for sure if I will like keep this stream or not. I mean, part of me kind of wants to, kind of wants to because it's like a new, the newest iteration of TV8. But but like another thing about it though is it's like, do I want to be able to try and bother, do the whole editing thing? Because like, it's like, cause I feel like it's gonna be mostly it's like, oh, it's gonna be like kind of like dead air. Yeah, it's like, I could have switched to Survivor and all that, but like I had my fill. I felt like I had my fill, for the day of playing Survivor. So be like, but it's always just like, I'll try and play some killer, maybe get at least 3 games in at most. And I wanted to kind of, at least try with the newest iteration of the newest character, the newest, killers added to to the game mode queue. Yeah, Ghosty Blaze. I haven't played him in a hot minute either. I would say between like him and Oni, like Oni I haven't really touched in a long time. It's so funny to fucking like, see the animations of Ghostface when when you have the what's that mask. Oh. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Oh, we got a game. Patty, Laura, Nick Cage, LD, Jake, another Nick Cage, another Jake, and Michaela. Phew. Alright. Oh wait, I can't remember. I just forgot who the fuck my teammate is. I want to say it's Legion? Was it Legion? Oh, yep. I can see him right there. Oh, you bitch. No. Oh, you son of a bitch. GG. Yeah. Oh, dat spannend. Wait. Oh, gotta get one more time. Damn it! I do all that stalking. Hey. made some progress. It was a little bit better, you know, but yeah. Alright. Let's go merchant's top. Alright, so Scarecrow. Don't really have much in terms of like, you know, all like don't really have much in terms of like, you know, cosmetics and stuff for Wraith. You know, as much you know, I do like the Frosty Eyes, you know, cosmetic, but I would like to see the more. I would like, you know, to actually see more of the hollow, uh, the all hollow size thing. Cause I kind of want cause I kind of want like randomly see that for like Skull Merchant, for example. Maybe others. Like maybe also like having a thing for like Huntress as well. I'd say probably like at most I want to see one for like Skull Merchant, Huntress and Spirit. How am I doing? Page 5 of 13. Yeah, I look at this I look at this thing for singularity, and the one thing that comes to my mind, the one random thing that comes to my mind is Mr. Puzzles from SMG4 universe. Alright. I hear like snarling or breathing or something. Mm. I think about like who I would probably want to try next to play after Wraith. Alright. Hold on. Wow. If there was one thing that I kinda wish to see, that wish to see behavior do with Wraith, um, I'd say like they start for 2v8 mode is, I think it would be kind of cool in a sense, um, if like, his normal like, big bonging bell sound was that of the sound of like, without like the sound where it's like, it sounds like it's so far away, so you don't know exactly as to whether or not, if he's actually far away or close by. If I remember correctly though, like I think for 2v8 they kind of buffed, I think like for 2v8 they kind of buffed Wraith up a little bit. Alright. Ugh. Alright. See what I got pads and stuff. Alright. I don't know if it's just me, but like I feel like I'm hearing noises from the in-game, like some sort of like breathing sound. And, I'm just like randomly thinking to myself, it's like, is it Wraith? Yeah. Um, but I think what I'm gonna be doing when it comes to the FNAF chapter is I might try and like, wait until it actually comes out. Cause I have a decent amount of money in my PSN account thing. Um, and I'm kind of thinking about like what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to sort of wait for the FNAF chapter to come out, you know, buy that, you know, and everything, see what all it comes with. And I feel like I feel like it's probably gonna be a thing where it's like, oh, you're gonna have to, you know, to buy the, you know, the yellow rabbit skin, as I'm going to assume that they're gonna call the legendary skin, you know, for Springtrap. Alright. Well, yeah. I'm still kind of wondering, like, how they're gonna do the whole thing for the next iteration of 2v8, because, like I said, they said that, like, in the next iteration, that they're gonna do a thing where you can play Survivor while you're queued up for a killer match. Though I think my friend Pei kind of brought up an interesting point, because, like, um, because I think, like, she talked about, like, I think she asked the question of, like, you know, how's that going to work, where it's like, it's like, how's that going to work, you know, because, um, cause I think, like, one of her little theories, if you will, was that, um, was that, I think it was one of her little theories slash, you know, curiosity wonders, if you will, was, like, you know, it's like, say you're playing, you know, the mode, right? Like, you're playing, you know, like, you've queued up for a, you know, killer game, but you're playing Survivor. Um, now the other question would be like, uh, what is it like I think like the question would be like, what would happen if you found a queue? Like, you know, do you automatically just like go to it, to where it's like, you know, the game kind of like replaces you with a bot, Or is it like, oh, or is it like a thing where it's like, oh, I'm, here with the queue. Or is it kind of like a thing where it's like, oh, like, you finish the game, and then, um, and then, like, you automatically go to, back to the computer queue, and you can go, like, jump in front of the line or something like that. And I switched to a different thing, because my spirit teammate snagged my fearmonger class. Ooh, frosty-eyed spirit. Ow. I'll take it. Sons of a bitch. Fuck. Fuck. Yo, I missed that. Damn. Okay. Finally, I'm finding them. Alright. Let's do this real quick. Da, 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 da. Hmm. Opening showdown: Mold versus Mekala. Uh, well, if I had to do it out of spite, I'd say probably Nicola because Mo can go fuck himself. Yeah, I think probably this might be my last match. because like it's because like Q times or like I knew it was going in, but it's like still fucking Q times being kind of dismal, but can't stop yelling either. But I don't want to go to bed. Alright.
Fine for this weapon. If you have any better ideas on how to shoot this properly, please write in the comments. I really don't see any other way. So for now, casual, unusable, embarrassing, everything like I should before. The mistake. Alright, let's go on. What? Did it go? No. No. In one of the previous videos, I created a lot of cursed shotguns that you guys really liked. I actually created one more that I didn't show you. My thought process was, if I combine every shotgun that is on this panel, surely something powerful and cool would come out, right? Well, I pressed the combine button, and out came a shotgun. A shotgun is a 16-barrel, 16-trigger abomination of a shotgun. I was expecting something high-tech. Instead, this looks like it was welded together in a shed somewhere in Yugoslavia during the Cold War.
So, so I kind of, so I'm watching the, so for those that wonder, like, what I'm watching, so, I can't remember how, when it happened, but I came across this, like, YouTube channel, that's called, like, Liechtenstein or something like that, and apparently, one of the things that they're sort of known for is making, quote-unquote, cursed weapons, where it's like, they take, like, like, different weapons, and combine them all together and be one crazy ass thing. And I'm looking at this one weapon. It says shoot gun, but it's also called like the shoot gun. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, it's like a multi-barrel double barrel shotgun. With like as you said, like dude said, 16 barrels, 16 triggers, and everything like that. And I'm just like, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this weapon. I'm thinking to myself, like, on the one hand, I kind of see like, how it'd be like, like a normal the opening, like how you would normally open and all that. But I'd say like logically speaking, because the one thing that kind of like makes it a little bit weird per se is like the trigger handle thing below where it's like has like the shape, like the U shaped thing or whatever. I'm just kind of like thinking to myself, it's like yeah, because if you watch the video, um, you see like when it does the opening animation of the weapon, that like that part of it kind of like looks like it kind of like breaks off or something like that. I'm thinking to myself like like surely they would have to have some sort of way to make it to where it's like oh it could open in that certain
It's
way.
extremely heavy. No proper way to hold it or carry it. You can't even aim it properly because this barrel is pointing at something completely different than this barrel. And if you want to shoot it, there's no possible way to memorize which trigger correlates to which barrel. So
But
the
this
best
gun
way
does
to shoot
remind
it
me
is
of
the
something like
opposite
you would see like in the
side
Doom
of this
mod.
weapon. Because old shells are the size of the barrel. You have to take them out individually, which takes quite a bit of time and energy. Half an hour later, after you are done, then you have to draw the new ones from your cleaver, which is very heavy, by the way, and you have to load them
The one shot, the one
individually
gun
into
that you need a cleaver for.
And one more half an hour later, you are ready to fire again. Is this good or bad? I'm not really sure because as ridiculous as it looks, I kind of like it. Tell me in the comments. What do you guys think? The shotgun, a Frankenstein of a weapon. All right, let's. Video games, usually, the more expensive the weapon is.
But yeah, I think like I think this will definitely be the last the last killer game that I do for the stream. Cause I think like by the time I get in to the thing, it'll be like somewhat. I think it'll be like somewhat close to when I normally would end. Alright.
Cursed AI weapons video, we tried to break the gun GPT machine by giving it impossible tasks like double barrel AK-47. Create a tool, an RPG that shoots shotgun shells, a bolt-action revolver, a belt-fed revolver, a weapon that pleasures the enemy to death. It's very pleasurable. We can't break this machine by using complex prompts, but I think we can break it if we introduce a human emotion. And after seeing this comment,
Try childhood weapons as a prompt.
the emotion I chose today is nostalgia. Let's see how well this machine knows us. Let's type in the prompt. Childhood weapons. Oh, by the way, if you are new, this machine mysteriously appeared one day out of nowhere. How it works is you put in a weapon description in the monitor, like we did now. Then you press the red button, and the machine will create that weapon. But as a fellow human being, unsurprisingly, I'm trying to break it. So let's see what we get. The prompt is in, and if we press the create button, out comes... Son of a bitch. A stick. The greatest of all time. The best childhood weapon on planet Earth. The stick.
Ghosty boy. Seems like the majority of the survivors are PSN users. Ace, LD, Sable, Laura, Dwight, Quentin, Tap, Zarina. Alright. Alright, let's see what map we get for this round. Alright. Part of me kind of hopes that we get RPD, but then again, I don't know. Malt or Monday? Bonk. Dum dum dum. I was a little bit odd. Like I could, for some reason, like I couldn't pick him up, but he could. Seriously? I didn't get him. Okay. Ouch. Mm-hmm. And I got my first soul today. Ouch. Alright, that was a hell of a game. Oh no, I gotta see. Hold on. That's like so apparently this arena was the one who messaged me talking about like me tunneling them. So they apparently were not happy with with me quote unquote tunneling them. It's like and like and here's the thing, okay? I'm more kind of in I'm more kind of in this off by kind of like having like a bit of a just chatting type of moment or something. So I can understand what it's like, right? Like I can understand what it's like, to play like play this 2v8 mode, no matter what update it has, and have like those unfortunate moments where it's so chaotic and it's just like so unlucky to where like say you get on you get unhooked or uncaged by someone, right? And it's all of a sudden it's like and all of a sudden boom, killer's right like right there, or somewhere damn near close to you. Okay? Like I sort of had that in my matches. Like I can't remember what killer it was exactly, but I shit you not. I had a moment, like I had at least one moment in the game that I played with Survive with a few friends of mine, where we well I I literally, I get uncaged from the thing, and all of a sudden, a killer is like, like drawn ever so near, and before I can even get a heal, before I can get fully healed, and they come after me, and I get downed. Okay, like, you know, like I said, I get it. It's annoying, you know. Especially like it's annoying in a mode like this, but it's also the chaoticness. I've also kind of like learned to accept that in a way, even though like I may still kind of like a time to be like say, like, oh, like you should not have gotten you should not have been able to have downed me, or whatever, or you should have not got that hit, this, that, and the other. I've had some slight annoyances, you know, in some of the matches that I had today, but you know, 'cause it is what it is. Especially like with how like how like gens fly. You try it's like you're trying your best to find people, kill them and all that good, all that just jazz. You know, like it's gonna happen. Whether it's liked or disliked. I mean, like I said, I know this is like a thing that like the whole like typical cliche of like, oh, I play both sides, which I do. Like I play both sides. Like I've literally been a survivor who unfortunately like it kind of gets quote unquote tunneled, after getting unhooked or uncaged. But you just gotta you just gotta move on to the next game. Like like I can understand, I can understand, the frustration about like not having, the best of matches, whether like, you don't live, a lot of the time, and this, that, and the other, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's definitely going to be a nice little place to end there. Like was I didn't know exactly how that thing was going to go, but that ghosty mask gets pretty good, exposure. It gets some nice downs and things like that. You know, he deserved the more. He deserved to do the more. Do the more. All right, so let me look at some stuff and things. Because I want to look, because I do want to kind of like, look into, um, I do want to kind of like, look into, when I might do more of this. Okay, so. Okay, so May 29th is when the mode ends. So a couple of weeks from now, because the fight's going to be 2 weeks on Thursday. So I think I might have an idea for right now on what I might do for a planned stream. Um, yeah. But first, let me get everything set up here. Raid message stuff there. Alright. Alright, so here's the thing. My next planned stream, if everything goes well, will hopefully be on Monday as part of my active week of streaming. And what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to be trying to play some Mortal Kombat 11. I'm going to be trying to do more of the story mode for that, you know, and see how things go. Maybe unlock some more skins and stuff. Tuesday will be Nightmare Reaper, because, you know, I want to try to see more of my playthrough of that. You know, then Wednesday and Thursday I'll be off. And then Friday will be the next stream, and I'm gonna go and kind of make this like a little announcement type thing here, but but hopefully sometime on Friday, me and Alex are gonna be trying to do more Resident Evil 6 co-op. You know, we're gonna see what we can try to see what we can do there. I don't know what campaign we're gonna be doing next because we had just finished Leon's campaign and everything. So like I don't know exactly as to what the next thing's going to be. Like I don't know if he's gonna go in order, you know, from like top to bottom, or like, you know, do one thing or the other or something like that. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Um, but Saturday will be another installment of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. Um, I might probably do some more stuff with the Star Wars Doom mod. You know, we'll see how things go from there. And then Sunday, I'll probably do some more Dead by Daylight, doing the 2v8 mode. I might probably do, probably try to, do some more killer action, things like that. I'm probably gonna play for the most part as Wraith, because, like, you know, I mean, because even though, like, you know, he's like a basic thing here and there, but like I'm probably gonna play like a lot of Wraith killer gameplay. You know, I might try my random luck. I might try like my random little luck as Trapper, but it's probably gonna be like a Wraith game for the most part. And then Wednesday, I will probably kind of end things off with some like a little bit of Survivor gameplay for like maybe like the first hour of the stream, and then probably like do like maybe one or two killer matches for the rest of the stream. So so yeah. Can't do that. Follower only chat. Yo, is he playing like a DVD Roblox game? Is that a Roblox race? I might run into him. I'm kind of just thinking right now. might also try raiding this person since they haven't been live for too long. See how things go here. But yeah, so that's my plan and everything like that for the time being for upcoming streams. Of course, I may do like like a random surprise stream here and there, depending on like if I'm in the mood or if I'm just like I'm not really doing much of anything. So why don't I just go hit the go live button and go from there. But yeah, just want to say first and foremost, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream and everything like that. Again, I do apologize, um, for the dullness of like waiting for so long, for killer queues and stuff like that. But it is what it is. I probably might make, I probably might make, I probably might make that last game as its own little video or something like that. Um, just to have like like a little something kind of put up early in the game, like early on YouTube or something like that, while I upload other stuff. But if you enjoy what you saw today and you watch this on Twitch, feel free to give the channel a follow and become a Rumble Maniac today. If you want to follow me anywhere else online, you can check out my YouTube channel, give it a sub, and all the usual good stuff. And also feel free to follow me on Twitter. But until I see y'all in the next video or live stream, as always, take care everybody, and I hope you all have a good week or weekend.